Hey guys, today we're going to be making peanut noodles, which is my absolute favorite recipe that I have ever tweaked. There's a lot of ingredients, as you can see. So whenever I make this, the peanut sauce base, I make a ton of it at once and it keeps for a while. So this is something good if you have someone in the kitchen to help you, or if you're having a dinner party. If you're cooking for one, this is kind of a big project, but to me it's totally worth it. So here's what you need. Coconut milk. This brand is very good. It is high in fat, so if you're trying to watch the fat levels, they have light coconut milk, brown sugar, ginger, a lime, garlic clove, you're going to need just one. Spring onions or green onions, it depends on what they call them where you are, but they look like this, and I love them. Sesame oil, peanut butter, doesn't matter, smooth or crunchy, rice vinegar, soy sauce, chili crisp. So here's what that looks like, and you'll need to go to a specialty store to get that. There's a few variations. I just get this one because it has the most chili seeds in it. And then some hoisin, chili garlic sauce. So that's just what I use. Same brand that does the sriracha, so you might find that next to it in even like a Walmart or something. And lastly, the most important part is you're going to need noodles. I buy a huge box of these at a time. This was $7. You're going to want ones that are pretty wide, and these are made out of wheat flour, so you want wheat noodles. Alright, so now we have one garlic clove, all chopped up, minced really fine, and we have 2 teaspoons worth of ginger, peeled and chopped up very fine, and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and I'm going to put this on the stove and toast it up a little bit. Okay, so while the ginger and the garlic pan is cooling down, I'm going to mix the ingredients separately. Usually I'll just toss them all in the same pan, but it's a little hot right now. So this spatula is amazing. I got it at the Dollar Tree. It's from the Betty Crocker section. This thing's fantastic. The small one's really good for getting out edges. So we're gonna do 1/4 cup of peanut butter. I'm gonna stir it just because it's rest of this stuff here, I'm just gonna measure. It's all in tablespoons. Alright, so here is the ginger and garlic. It looks like that. We're gonna put the rest of the ingredients in here. Here is the chili crisp. You're gonna do this to taste. I love spicy food and I want this really spicy, so I'm gonna go with a whole tablespoon. I'm scooping it around because the oil tends to rise to the top. I don't want a ton of the oil. I want this chili mixture, so I'm stirring it around until I get some oil. It is quite oily. That's how the product is, but not all oil. And I'm gonna toss this in. And then we're gonna put this in here, or vice versa. Probably this one because it's easier to scoop. Alright, so in case you couldn't guess, this is a very messy recipe. Do not wear white clothing. Your kitchen's gonna be a hot mess, but it's worth it, I promise. So, we have our mixture, basically all of the ingredients, and our coconut milk. So, with coconut milk, the fat, oops, there it is. The fat usually goes to the top. So, if you don't want a lot of fat in your meal, you can just scoop it out. Or if you want some fat, you're just gonna stir it. All of the liquidy part of the coconut milk is at the bottom. So now you see it's thinner. Coconut milk is not an ingredient that a lot of people in the United States use in our cooking. So, but the cans come this big, so you're gonna have some left over unless you're like multiplying the recipe by a lot. So what you can do with extra coconut milk is save it in your fridge for a few days, and you can use it as coffee creamer. It tastes awesome. Or you can use it to wash your skin in the shower if you have dry skin, and it feels really great. So this is the tricky part and where your preferences come into play. You're just gonna mix this until the sauce tastes right to you. So that was probably like 5 small tablespoons. Alright, so now we're on to cook the noodles. I usually do about this much noodles for me. By the end of all of this preparation, I'm usually very hungry. You're going to get a big pot of water, fill it up however high you want, get it to boiling point, and then put the noodles in when it's fully boiling. And I crack the noodles in half before I put them in. This just makes it easier so that they don't stick together. You want to stir it a few times while it's cooking. Maybe you want the noodles really long, that's fine, just make sure they're all coated in the water. So the noodles go in the boiling water for 5 minutes, and then we're going to immediately rinse them with cold water. This is so that they don't cook further, and also just because the dish is served cold. So I have my noodles here cold and thoroughly drained. They're a little wet, that's fine, that's good because the sauce is thick. I washed my hands. I'm just gonna measure out the noodles, how much noodles I want. Okay, I made a perfect amount. Sauce.
In this way, our
Now, if you're going for presentation and you want the meal to look really nice, I usually don't mix the sauce in because it smears up the bowl and it's not everyone's favorite color. So I just leave it on top like that, and then I garnish. I have the garnishes. I do the spring onions first. I like a lot of spring onions. You don't have to do that much. We're gonna work our way down to the smaller stuff. So we got the peanuts, which are a little larger than the sesame seeds, and then the sesame seeds on top. So I put a lot on there. Maybe it doesn't look appetizing to you, but I think it's kind of a nice presentation. I'd probably put a little less if I was feeding it to someone who's a little more skeptical about this type of food. And then a lime wedge. So, you know, you can serve it with the lime wedge so it looks cute, but really what I'm gonna end up doing is just doing this. It tastes so good. Nice and messy. Speaking of messy, this is a meal that I eat with chopsticks because they're longer than a fork, and the sauce tends to like crawl up whatever utensil you're eating it with and get all over my hands. So I like these because they're longer, and these are the type that are ridged, so they grab noodles better. So I recommend that you eat those with these. That's it for this recipe. It's ready to eat. Like I said, if it tastes not perfect to you, you could add some more coconut milk, add some more water, add spices, whatever you want to do, but this is basically how I do it. So I hope you like this recipe if you try it out. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!